Let's have a look at the Motex 5500 pricing gun. This is an extremely popular Korean-made gun. It uses a 21 by 12 millimeter label, which is probably the most generic and easy to find label for a single line gun. And it prints 8 characters that are all numeric, so it's perfect for pricing. There are 2 versions of the Motex 5500 that we sell at Pricemark. There's the older version and the newer version. At the moment we have both in stock, so just specify when you're ordering which one you'd prefer. The older one will be eventually phased out, and eventually it will be the newer one that does take over. What makes the gun so popular is its simplicity and the price. It's a really well priced gun and it does what it does really well. Let's have a look at how to load the labels in the Motex 5500 pricing gun. We'll start by changing the labels in the original Motex 5500. To do this, you're going to need the gun and a roll of labels. The first step is to open the base plate. You can do this by pulling back on these 2 levers. You have one here and one here. And if you pull backwards on those, the base plate will open up, and so will this inner base plate. If you turn the gun over then, you will notice that this part has a roll holder. You just pull that straight out. Then we take our roll of labels, and it's always a good idea when doing this to just straighten up the front so that they can go straight through the middle of the gun. And you put those in the gun and they'll just come straight out the bottom. Then you put the roll of labels onto that holder and close down that holder. That will keep them securely in place. Once the labels are coming out the front of the gun like this, you just clip down the inner base plate and then you fold over the outer base plate. Both will make a clicking noise to let you know that they're securely in place. At that point, the label is loaded into the gun and we just have to click out a few to get it aligned. And there you go, you've loaded the labels. We load the newer model Motex 5500 using the same technique. So first we find the 2 base plate levers. One's here and the other is here. When we pull back on those, it'll open up the base plate and it'll open up the inner base plate. We open up the top of this gun by putting our finger underneath this here and pulling up, and that will reveal, very similar to the other gun, this label roll holder. We take our roll of labels, make a nice straight section at the front here, and they'll go straight through the middle of the gun again. Once you can see them coming out the other side, you just put that roll of labels onto the label roll holder and close the lid. Then we turn the gun upside down and pull that roll of labels forwards, clip the inner base plate and then fold over the outer base plate. Both will clip in and we've loaded our roll of labels. Now let's have a look at how to change the ink roller in the Motex 5500. First, we're going to change the ink roller in the older style Motex 5500. To do this, we open up the front plate of the gun here by pushing down on this tab and just pulling forwards. This will present a little tab in here which hangs loose, and if you just use your fingers you can pull it out and it actually pulls the ink roller out on its own little arm. Then you unclip the ink roller using 2 fingers, one on each side, so you'll hear a little click when each side is removed. We take the ink roller out and that ink roller will then go in the bin. Your new ink roller for these guns comes in this little plastic tube. You take that ink roller out and you put it back into the gun the same way the other one came out. So we just rest it on top of this arm here like this, and then you click in both sides. Then this arm sits back in the gun like so. It actually sits freely in there, so it will swing around. And we close the front, and we've changed the ink roller. When changing the ink roller on the newer model Motex 5500, you definitely want to be wearing a pair of gloves because there is the potential to get your hands a little dirty. So to do it, we start at the front of the gun, similar to the other model. You press down on this tab at the front and you just open out that front tab, revealing this small tab on the inside. Again, that just pulls straight out of the gun and presents the ink roller on this arm. Now to get the old ink roller out, you just pull apart the two arms and drop the ink roller hopefully straight into a bin. You do that like this and the ink roller should just pop straight out. Now to get the ink roller back in, we take a new ink roller out of the little plastic tube, hold it on either side, and you're pretty much going to try and get this ink roller back into the two little holes on either side of this arm. So to do this, we just sit it on top and on one side press it into the hole. You've got to hold the arms apart to do this. So we go in one side of the hole and then in the other side, and it'll clip on both sides. You'll hear it click into those holes, and once it's in there nice and tight, you just hold this front tab again and we slide the whole arm straight back into the gun and we close the front, and now we've changed the ink roller in a newer style Motex 5500. The Motex 5500 is a fantastic low-cost, single-line pricing gun, and it's available now on the Pricemark website. If you have any questions, as always, just give us a call and we'll be happy to help you out.